Hello everyone, this is Amish Paradise 88 doing my review on the game Watch Dogs. Now the footage that you see here is recorded from my PS4, and any future footage that you see of any games or any reviews of any games that I do will all be on the PS4 version of any game. Now, before I get too much into, the ins and outs of the game and personally what I think of a lot of aspects of it, there's just three problems I would like to address, just real quick. Two of them are graphical issues. I have found go anywhere where there's like tall grass or tall weeds, whatever, and just take a look at them, and you'll notice that they look very pixelated or blocky. And I think I was expecting a little bit more of something like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, how the foliage looked in there. It was very smooth and it looked very realistic and it moved with you. Now on here, you don't quite get the same look, and also the foliage, the weeds, it doesn't move whenever you walk through it. It just kind of stays still. Not a big issue. It's really not a deal breaker. It's just something small I noticed. And then there's also the steam pipes, the big ones, like whenever you're driving down the road and you blow up a steam pipe to get rid of somebody tailing you. If you ever watch the steam after it initially blows up, the steam to me just it doesn't look very realistic. And once again, it's definitely far from a big issue. It's nothing to really worry about. It's just, two small graphical things I've noticed. Other than that, all of the graphics look amazing, and the cinematics are absolutely phenomenal, I believe. I think that everything else just looks absolutely amazing. I think they did a great job. Even I do know that they did downgrade the graphics, and that was a big thing whenever that first happened. It was huge. But they said that they had to do it due to performance issues. And, honestly, even with the downgraded graphics, it looks absolutely phenomenal. And I really can't complain about it. The third problem I found was just whenever there's a lot of information, such as it's trying to save and it's trying to display information, such as, you got a skill point or your progression skill. I found that at that time that the game seems to lag a little bit. And I don't think that so much, personally, my belief isn't that it's a game issue as it is a hard drive issue. I know that they were talking about that the hard drive isn't always fast enough to keep up with everything that it has to do. So I believe that that could be a hard drive issue. I'm not sure. Maybe it is something with the game. I'm my best guess is the hard drive though. And once again, it's far from a big issue. It's just something small that I noticed. Now, as you can see here, back to the game. As you can see here, I'm doing an online tailing of somebody. Now, this is something that I am far from good at. As you can tell by how fast I was spotted, I was profiled very rapidly. This is something I'm not very used to. I believe that this was only my second time that I've actually tried to tail somebody. I did absolutely terrible. Now, I think they did an absolutely amazing job with this online tailing. It's very, very seamless. If you're invading somebody's world, yeah, you gotta look for somebody to tail, but you choose to tail somebody, and you just sit there and you just wait while it searches for somebody. Once it's done, you get to choose whether or not you want to tail that specific person. You load in, and you do your tailing. Now, the person you're tailing, they don't know that they just, somebody is possibly going to tail them. It's just straight up, hey, you're being tailed. You need to do something about this. There's no loading screens. There's no waiting. It's just straight up time to go. And when I first had that happen to me, I was very surprised at how seamless that was. And then when it's all done, I was expecting there to be a loading screen and now having to wait for, to get back into the game. But no, it just picks up right exactly where that ended. And I was just very surprised, and I was very pleased by how seamless that transition was. It was amazingly smooth. I think they did a phenomenal job with that. Now, as to the other aspects of the multiplayer, honestly, I really don't know right now. I haven't tried the other ones. I believe there's Decryption for up to 3 players. I believe Free Roam is up to 8. And I believe the racing one is up to 4. I'm not quite sure on that one. I haven't tried any of those yet. I've always been very much a person who sits down and plays through the campaign first before I really touch the multiplayer. There's very few instances that I will play multiplayer before I play the campaign. But this game has definitely been an amazing game. Even with the fact that I haven't touched the multiplayer, the campaign has got so much in it just to keep you going. All the side missions, the fixer contracts, the crimes that you detect in your interventions, and just the even if the crime isn't detected, you just see somebody do something, you can stop them. There's just so much in it just to keep your interest and just keep you going and not wanting to give up on it. And just honestly, I've been so distracted from the main mission by doing all of these side things. I mean, if I hadn't done all these side missions, I'd be so much further into the game. But there's just so many different things that catch my attention. Oh, hey, that sounds good. Criminal convoy? Yeah, I want to go take on 6 cars. Yeah, it's great. It's fun. And it never gets boring. Not once have I taken and said, you know what? I'm bored with this. You know what? I don't want to do that. I just wish this would end. No, I've never said that. This game has kept my interest, and I've just absolutely loved it. It is a game that I would definitely recommend to anybody and everybody. And I think part of the reason that it makes the game I think part of the reason why the game can be so much fun is all the choices you have. You can go into a mission and you have the option most of the time to either kill or to just knock out somebody. In fact, I think that you always have the option to knock out somebody. I don't think that you ever have to kill. I believe that's an option that they always leave open. And I like that. It's, you can go for stealth and just be kind and knock people out, not kill them. You may say that's not nice. But you know what? You get to live another day. That is quite nice. It's quite generous. Or you can go in, guns blazing, and just take on everybody. It's completely up to you. Like I said, most of the time. You don't always have that option, but a good majority of the time you do. And I like that option that they put in there. I think it was a really good move on their behalf, because it just takes and allows people that freedom of choice, and it lets them feel more like they're in control of the game. And I think that was an excellent move on their behalf to put that in there. I will admit, for the most part, my weapon of choice is the silenced pistol. I use that thing all the time. I use my I get down behind cover, pop up, I use focus, do a headshot, drop back down behind cover. It's great, it's easy, it's silent. Most of the time, nobody even knows anything happened. That's how I normally play level, but you don't have to. You can go in and you can sneak around everybody to get to your location. If you're going to hack something, most of the time you can jump camera to camera, or jump from a wall-mounted camera to a hidden camera on a person. And it's absolutely great, all the different options that they put in here for you to choose. And I absolutely love it. I also love what you'll see me do here is I will I find a box over there that I can burst, and I throw a lure over there, and when I turn it on, it draws the guy over there. I blow up the box, kill him. Now, I love the crafting. You don't get an unlimited supply of, grenades and lures and blackout abilities and comm jams. You don't have all this stuff just to use whenever you want. So by doing that, it makes you have to think about what you're about to do. It makes you have to think about what you have available to you in your environment. Can you cause a distraction by tripping a car alarm? Can you cause a distraction by moving a forklift or by raising a protector? Or you could even blow up, burst a pipe so that they have to walk past something different, or pull them out of cover. And by doing that, there's so many different ways to complete each mission, and it's just great. And they don't give you so much power that you can just go in there and use the same thing non-stop over and over and over and over and over and over and make you feel too overpowered. You've got to be smart with what you do, and I love that. It puts more skill into completing the game, I feel. I also like how you can choose if you're good or bad, and how that affects how the public sees you. If you do bad, I'll be honest, I got myself to the point where I would walk by people and they would, oh, is that him? And then all of a sudden there's a phone call going into the police. Hey, this guy's here. And then you gotta choose. I can run up and knock the phone out of their hand because I don't feel like dealing with the police, or you know what? I'll just shoot them. Or you can just deal with the police. So I mean, you've really got to be careful on the choices you make in the game because they do have an effect, and then you have to deal with that until, like I said, I got to the point where people were just calling the cops on me, and so I had to raise my reputation up above that point, so that I no longer just get random calls to the police, and I love how they put that in there. It adds to me. It becomes a thing of not just your missions, and it's not just you just go around and just kill everybody. No, now it's you got to pay attention to what's going on around you. You can't just run over everybody or injure them or shoot them. No, that affects how the game plays, and I really like that. I think that was put in there, and it was a very unique way for the game to go. I mean, games like Red Dead Redemption had something similar. Well, nothing really similar, but you go around and kill people. If you killed people, of course, you'd have the sheriff after you and whatnot. But it never affected how people looked at you, and if the police got called in on you. And to me, this is one of the first games that have really implemented it to this extent, and I think they did a very good job with that. Now, as to my rating for the game, personally, I would give it a 9.25. And my reason behind that is the story is, to me, absolutely amazing. I love how it starts off, leaves you kind of hanging as to what really happened that caused, the beginning. Why did this all start? Who was that second hacker who was messing with you? And it just kind of really makes you think about the possibilities. Personally, I think the story is absolutely phenomenal. It has kept me going. I've never gotten to the point where I've been, oh, well, I knew that was going to happen. No, I haven't run into anything like that yet with this game. The story's great. The graphics look great. The gameplay's smooth. The only reason I don't give it higher is due to the 3 issues I brought up. I feel that those could have been a little bit better. But other than that, this game is absolutely phenomenal. And it is a game that I can see many, many people, including me, putting many hours into. Now, something I'm going to mention before this video ends, I'm getting near the end, is I do a lot of live streaming through Twitch. I will put a link down in the description for my Twitch channel. And anytime you want, I stream a lot of times during the day and sometimes at night. And when I say a lot of times during the day, it's usually I start around 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon until about 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. And at night, I usually do it from around like 2 o'clock at night to 2:30. Oh, I guess that's the morning, not night. And I go to like 4. I usually do like 2 hours. And I do that quite often. I will leave that link to my Twitch channel down in there. I would love to see you guys come in and to follow and to watch. And don't just watch, but, leave comments or advice or whatever. Just come in and have a good time. That's all I ask. I don't want anybody to come in and to be bored. I'm all about having a good time. So I invite you guys to come on in, check out that channel. I also have a Facebook page called Amish Gamer, and I will leave a link for that also. And one thing I will say is if you come to that page and like it, I update that anytime that I'm going to be doing live streaming. I put it on there right away. That way anybody can come on in and they can see that I'm streaming and they can join in on that. So I invite you to come on in, like that page, and I will definitely keep you posted. I do anything with that page. That page is dedicated to video games and especially anything PS4. So I invite you to come check that page out also. And I will do more reviews in the future of other games, and I will keep on putting gameplay footage up for you guys to enjoy. Alright, I hope to see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you on Twitch one day.